Most traders who get to 10K months think the hard part is behind them. And in reality, you're just getting started. And this is actually where most of them start to fall apart. And I've watched it happen not once, not twice, but honestly, dozens of times across me and every single student I've helped. And the patterns are always going to be the exact same. The mistakes are always the same. And in this video, I'm going to try to lay out all the mistakes step by step so you can see exactly where the self-destruction happens, and more importantly, how to not be that guy and hopefully just jump through that impact. And this isn't theory. Right? It's kind of what I've watched real traders go through over and over and over again. People who've been there, people who've done that on their way from 10K to 100K months. And some of them made it, some of them 100% make it, and a lot of them didn't. It's a hard step to make. And the difference came down to a handful of very specific niche things. And I'm gonna walk you through all of them right now. So sit back, get some popcorn, get some food. I know I got some kava on the way. And some of these things might honestly be things you haven't even thought about or don't even exist. And the first one is they confuse a hot streak with mastery. Man, ego is in everything in life is going to kill you, man. The second you stop being a student is the second you start losing money. And that's always step one, always. A trader will hit 10K a month for the first time, right? And they might do it again, maybe a third month in a row, man. And something shifts in their head, right? They get that big ego. They start believing they have figured it all out. They've cracked the market. Maybe they start increasing their size, that they're different from other traders, that they are the 1%. They're the geniuses, right? And this is when it all starts to flip on them. And I get it. I've been there, right? Honestly, I'm embarrassed by how many times I've been there. The feeling's real. And I had it too. But here's what is actually happening. They had a good run, right? In a market that was favorable to their setup. Might be a couple months long. It's not mastery. It's just good timing, right? Really good timing in a easy market condition. The market cycles, right? What works in a trending, high momentum, good volatility market in a good environment is just going to break down in a choppy, low volatile one. And the traders who were hitting 10K a month in a very easy trending market start forcing the same setups and chop. They don't realize the shit has shifted, and they wonder why nothing is working anymore. They increase their size, they go on tilt, they go crazy, they think they're hopeless because they made all this money. Now what they were doing in the past doesn't work, right? And what separates the ones who make it for good forever is they treat every good month as data, not proof. They stay curious about why it worked out, not just that it worked out, but because if you don't know why something worked, you can't replicate it, right? And this is the importance of data is insane, man. And you definitely can't scale if you don't know the reason those trades played out. Now, I'm sure most of y'all watching are going through this, and it's a ton of different reasons. And it even goes into step two, which is they scale size before they scale discipline. After a hot streak, what do? You up your size, bro. It's the wrong way to look at it. And this is one of the things that actually blows people up, not just keeps them break even or inconsistent, but blows your accounts, bro. The moment a trader starts making consistent money, the instinct is to add size, right? No shit. And it makes sense on paper, right? Same win rate, bigger contracts, more money, simple math, but they're focusing on that consistency on such a small time frame. It's not that simple because size changes everything. Even though you think it doesn't, it changes everything psychologically. A trade that costs you about $500 at small size costs you 3K at bigger size, right? Same setup, same stop, but your brain does not process those two numbers the same way. It really can't. And until you've trained yourself to sit through larger drawdowns, right, without changing your behavior, you're not ready for larger size. A couple of months of making bank doesn't mean jack shit in the grand scheme of things. And people go from 500 to 3K to 5K. They just make these massive jumps, bro, for no reason. What I see constantly is traders who jump from 2 to 6 contracts because they had like 2 good months. Then one bad week hits, the losses feel enormous, bro, like insane. And they start revenge trading to make it back. They move stops, they overtrade, they double size again because they think they need to make that shit back. They think the 3 months of shit they made is gone. And in 2 weeks, they gave it all back. They gave everything back that they've built in the 3 months, bro. And the rule I give every trader I've ever worked with is don't add size until you have at least a year, or for me, it's a year, 6 months, give or take, you can do, of clean execution at your current size. Not profitable days, not clean days. You followed your rules, you took your stops, no revenge trades, at least half a year at that. And then we talk about increasing size. And for me, I only increase size after a year, right? And I takes a lot for me to increase size because when I make a jump, I make a big jump. And it's a massive difference in my P&L. I want to make sure I can handle that emotionally because even though I've been doing this for a while, bro, if I go from losing 20K a trade to losing 100K a trade, it's a big jump. They stop doing the things that got them there, right? That's step three. I see this one all the time. It's very painful to watch because it's in hindsight so avoidable, man. They start making real money. life gets better, pressure comes off, right? And slowly, not all at once, slowly the habits start to slip. You forget how you got to where you are right now. And as you make more money, funny enough, you start to have more stress. It starts to get more serious. They stop doing pre-market prep because they feel like they already know the levels, they have it mastered down. They stop reviewing sessions because it was a good day, right? There's nothing to fix. They stop journaling because things are going well. And then things stop going well. And they have no idea why, right? They stop tracking because they're making money. They forgot what got them there in the first place. And the truth is, man, it's just back end work. It's the prep, it's the behind the scenes, it's the review, the journaling. That's not what you do until you're good. That's what you do because you're good. That's what makes you good. That's what keeps you good. That's what keeps you profitable. The people who make 100K a month from trading consistently aren't skipping that, right? Just like you don't skip leg day, they're not skipping the important shit, the data that matters. They're more disciplined about it than they were at 10K months, not less. More is on the line. So they're even more serious about tracking their trades. And what I tell all my students is the habits that built your 10K months are the exact same habits that are going to build your 100K months, your 200K months. Don't touch them. Don't negotiate with them. If it's working, don't fix what's not broken. And anything, protect them harder as the money gets bigger. Common sense that most people will tend to overlook. And I really don't want that to be you guys, because I've been in a point in my life where I made 6 figures trading, increased my size, got lazy, and lost it all. And nothing hurts more than that. Coming back from that is basically impossible. Step 4, right? They can't handle the emotional weight of bigger numbers. And it's hard. Just when I went from 20K losses to 50K losses to 100K losses, it hurts. It hits different, bro. And this one doesn't get talked about enough, because 100K could be what you make in a year. You increase your size, in 1 week you lost 100K, right? It feels like a whole year just off the trash. And that's a real psychological ceiling that most traders hit when the number gets large. If you lose 500 bucks on a trade that feels manageable, right? Losing 5K on a trade, even if it's the same exact percentage on your account, it's just going to hit differently. And you're not prepared for that much of a big jump, man. It will change how you trade based off of what you're feeling when you see those numbers jump up and down. And I've watched traders freeze. I have frozen on entries that would have taken with smaller size without thinking, right? I've watched them. I've watched myself. I've watched my just cut winners way too early because they couldn't stand the idea of giving back $2,000 in open profits. Honestly, that was my biggest thing that held me back, was doing that exact same thing. And I've watched them hold losers because admitting a 4K loss felt unbearable, right? That was how much they made in 3 months. Now they increased size. Now 4K off of one trade, they're fucked. None of that is a strategy problem. All of it is a psychological issue. And until you really understand what your emotional triggers are, that won't be fixed, man. And how you fix it is simple. You size slowly enough that your brain can adapt. Going from 2 to 6 overnight is a massive jump, but I see it all the time. Go from 2 to 3, right? Spend 30 days there, then go to 3 to 4, right? That's how you let your psychology catch up. If you're making a massive jump, you better do it after 6 months to a year of proven consistency. And the goal is to make bigger numbers feel normal before they feel scary. And once your brain adapts to that is when you can start to look to add more and more size. But unfortunately, that takes time. You're not going to get rich quick off trading. That's probably why people size up so fast, is because they feel like they have a beat. They're going to make $1 billion. So they size up really fast, even though it's going to mess them up. And they don't even realize that. And step 5 is they have no system for bad weeks. And I have bad weeks. I'm currently, depending on when you're watching this, in a bad week. And every trader who has bad weeks, the ones who make it to 100K months, aren't the ones who have never had bad weeks before. They're the ones who have a plan for what to do when the shit hits the fan, when the bad weeks hit. And most traders don't have that plan. They don't even think or consider they could have a bad week. So when a red week comes, they do one of two things, right? They keep going at it full size, trying to claw it all back, which usually makes it worse, or they just completely shut down. They go flat for 2 weeks. They lose all their momentum. And unfortunately, right, they come back very rusty. And again, I have been there. I've been doing this for literally over 10 years. I've been through every single thing you can imagine. And neither of those things work. Not even one. The actual system, right? Any red week that you have, what I do is I cut size in half the following week. And it's not because you're punishing yourself. It's because something is off, either in the market conditions has shifted or you have shifted. Maybe you're going through a breakup, right? Maybe your parents get divorced. Who knows, man? You need to figure out which one at reduced risk. And when you string together 3 clean days at half size, you can start scaling back up to normal size. What I do. And when the data says you're back, you're back. Not when you feel like you're back, right? When the data tells you you're back. That's super key. It could probably avoid a bunch of drawdowns for y'all. And that's it. It's a simple system. Most traders just don't even have it written down. And don't commit to it before bad weeks happen. Write it down, tattoo it on your face. I don't care, right? Write it down now. Decide in advance what you do when things go wrong, because you won't make